All right, good morning. We'll start in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes! Get your coffee ready. Time to reload. I forgot I muted my squawk.
Yen is weak and underperforming. Scotiabank. Pound is looking well supported. Scotiabank.
US dollar, yen rebound stalls below 200 DMA. Société Générale.
Euro quiet ahead of ECB Thursday. Scotiabank.
A possible move on silver US dollar as it heads towards resistance. Gold rallies into uncharted territory, fueled by Fed easing bets and global risks.
Investing live European markets wrap. Gold rally continues. Yen recovers, opening gap down.
US dollar CNH test the major support at 7.1200 before recovery is likely. UOB Group.
Canadian dollar soft, but off overnight low as Bank of Canada rate expectations shift. Scotiabank.
US dollar yen. Likely to trade in a range between 146.55 and 149.55 UOB Group.
Oil prices rise on slower OPEC plus output hikes. Russia sanctions in spotlight. The US dollar is mostly lower to start the US session for the new trading week. US PPI CPI eyed.
Yen is weak and underperforming. Scotiabank. Pound is looking well supported. Scotiabank.
Oil prices rise on slower OPEC plus output hikes. Russia sanctions in spotlight.
US dollar, yen rebound stalls below 200 DMA. Société Générale.
Euro quiet ahead of ECB Thursday. Scotiabank.
A possible move on silver US dollar as it heads towards resistance. Gold rallies into uncharted territory, fueled by Fed easing bets and global risks.
Investing Live European Markets wrap. Gold rally continues. Yen recovers, opening gap down.
US dollar CNH test the major support at 7.1200 before recovery is likely. UOB Group.
Yeah, boy! Hey da boo boo! It's time to get the pips from the Pipner basket. All right. Yet another shake. The shake of life. Shake, baby, shake. This one has 1,000% vitamin C requirement. All right, hey, I guess we should get going. Como allez-vous? How are you? Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 21,500 traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance. Because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne. I'll be your guide on this journey we call Forex. I've been doing this, more than 20 years. Before that, I was a venture capitalist. Before that, I was a high-tech entrepreneur. Before that, I worked on a board of directors with George Soros. Before that, I worked at NASA, Cisco, Apple Computers. Yeah, very cool. And I also had a paper route and worked hockey games. Yeah! So there you go. That's me. How are you? Let's talk about you. What I think we should do today is look at gold, oil, Bitcoin, U.S. stock market. What else? I don't know, you tell me. Euro dollar? Hey, I'd rather look at Aussie yen, but whatever, you tell me. I don't know, we'll figure it all out. But it's going to be a good week. We got PPI, CPI. Do we care about the ECB this week? Not with CPI in the United States of America coming out on the same day, I think, right? Like, ECB's not even going to cut. Who cares, right? So, but anyways, it's going to be a good week. It's going to be a huge week. And that CPI is going to be a monster. Because I think we figured out the employment situation in the United States, but now we got to figure out inflation. And is it going to prevent the Fed from cutting, or maybe it's just we're going to change our neutral rate? Let's go! So we got to do our macro review. You already got the headlines. So let's go and get our global macro on. Uncover the underlying intrinsic trend. That's the whole goal here. So let's load the database. We got a little bit of risk on. Here's our hit and miss list. Yields are fantastic. What a great move. Look at that move on the scatter plot for the 10-year T-note today. Love it. Okay, oil up. Now, in my earlier live stream, yes, I already did one today. Already. And I discussed with great with great vengeance and furious anger what I think about this. So it going up is not surprising. We talked about precisely what happened, but I'm more interested in what's happening next. And so anyways, gold is up. That's great. S&P 500. We'll see what's going to happen today. Dollar index is down slightly. I wouldn't call that dramatic, but below 98. 98 was support for a long time. Now we're below it. Now 98 is resistance. And that's leaning toward risk on. And remember Bitcoin? You remember it at 108? Do you remember it at 109? Do you remember it at 110? Do you remember it at 111? Well, guess what? It's 112 now. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Let's just burn through things really quickly here. Risk on, risk on, risk on. Oh, that looks fine. Scatter plot. Okay, biggest loser is fantastic. Biggest winner, look at that. All the way up there, but neutral. Which means it's not fundamentally based. Yeah. What about dollar pairs? Dollar week, dollar week, dollar week, dollar wait, dollar strong. Dollar week, dollar week, dollar week. What does this mean? Dollar is weak and yen is even weaker. Well, if you're not doing that, if you're doing Kiwi yen today, or sorry, if you're doing Kiwi CAD today, actually, that's probably not even a bad trade. But anyways, you're missing the whole underlying intrinsic trend. Money market, fantastic. This is so good. That's the Fed cutting, or the market thinking the Fed's going to cut. That's fantastic. Yeah, boy. And that is game on, risk on, loving life, living large. But uh-oh. Did we go too far, too fast? Huh? Is today going to be capitulation day? Because what typically happens when we get there? I don't know, but Friday NFP was fundamentally important. Show. Biggest winners and losers, week over week. Gold, fantastic. Cool. Silver, fantastic. Nikkei, fantastic. Platinum, fantastic. Bitcoin, fantastic. All over the place. Nazi, trying. Look at this big recovery. Aussie, Kiwi. Now, I've been saying for a month and a half. I think 2 months is too long, but a month to month and a half. If you read the economic reports out of Australia, they are improving. Yeah. And you see that people are picking up on it. So another way of reading this is like if gold is way up and Aussie pairs are way up, Kiwi pairs are way up, and you're not trading them, everybody else knows but you. And you're like, I've been trading these. Why? Okay. So anyways, you should keep your eye on this. What's actually moving? Yields are collapsing. Awesome. That's so great. Oil's coming down. Yeah. I predicted this out all the way to middle of next year. Middle of next year. That doesn't surprise me. Cool. Dow doesn't benefit from Fed cuts. Yeah. So there's not a lot of juice in it. Russell is likely to move up if the Fed is still going to continue to be expected to cut. See? So we need to be thinking forward. So this should go from neutral towards a positive move, an upward move. I guess let's do a fast and furious job market review. So easy for TRADARS. Okay, JOLTS. The amount of jobs advertised is falling. That allows the Fed to cut. Claims. The amount of claims has gone from 217 to closer to 230. That upward rise allows the Fed to cut. Non-farm payrolls. The absolute and relative change throughout the year allows the Fed to cut. The unemployment rate was 4. Now we're 4.3. That didn't work out, but you have to trust me on it. We've gone from 4 to 4.3. And in fact, going back a year and a half, we were 3.7. Now we're at 4.3. And the thing is, it's the first time we've been above 4.3. I mean, I can change this data set, but let's say in years, right? Oh, that allows the Fed to cut. And wages have fallen from a peak at 8, wage growth, to 6, to 5, and now we're solidly below 4. That allows the Fed to cut. Huh. Noise. All right, so let's do the fast and furious here. You guys ready? We're only going to do pattern recognition. Do not confuse this with the signal. Do not confuse this with technical analysis. Don't be confused. These are patterns. They don't tell you up, down, or sideways. You are supposed to use fundamentals. Or statistics. Is statistically the euro dollar up or down? That's just statistics. If you can't do the math, then you're going to have to eyeball it, which is probably just as good. I just happen to teach you the math, and I hate it. Okay? You could look at seasonality. You could look at macroeconomics. All of this. You should. And then from that, you get a bias. Great. So you should already know for euro dollar, for the stock market, for gold, for Bitcoin, for treasury yields, you should have an opinion on where they're going. Opinion means bias, and bias means you have quantitative analysis to back your shit up. Okay? So anyway, not an opinion per se, but well-founded, well-grounded analysis. So you ready to go? What we're going to do is we're going to look at trending patterns, up, down, and sideways, or reversal patterns, bullish reversals, bearish reversals. And we're going to look for them on 5 different time frames on all these assets. And it's not an opinion. These are patterns that are forming. So they might be an opportunity for a bull, but they might be a threat to a bull. They might be an opportunity for a bear. They might be a threat to a bear. So we do SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. If you look in the description below the video, there's a link to download the SWOT analysis cheat sheet. And no, that doesn't sucker you into a sales campaign, a sales funnel where I send you 7,000 emails convincing you to join. You don't want to join? Don't join. If this isn't the most amazing thing you've ever seen, you don't get it. That's all right. Some people will have a competitive advantage. But that being said, if you want to use this process and you want some more details, the description, the link is in the description below. You fill out, I think, just your name and your email. It sends it to you, and that's the end of the sequence. That's it. Done. So anyways, you ready to go? Some people waste hours. We're going to do this in probably 2 minutes. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Kick busted. Doon, doo, doo, doo. You know what? Let me zoom in for you. Okay. All right. So what do we see here? I'm going to call this sideways. And I'm going to call this sideways with a potential breakout. So if you are bullish on euro dollar, then what has happened, remember, this is not an opinion. This is the actual, this was challenged. And if you're a bull, that's showing some strength and an opportunity. What the training shows you is you'd buy it off the pullback and you're long HOTGO, HOTTOGO. So that looks good on the 4-hour chart. You could probably hold it for days. That's it. That was 30 charts. 5 time frames, let's say 10 patterns, so it's 50 charts. I just did 50 charts. So easy. When anybody's trying to please my baby. All right, what do you think about the Bitcoin? You bullish or bearish? Are there opportunities or threats? Well, let's take a look. Bitcoin, 4-hour up with an opportunity. 30 minutes up with a slight threat, but it's come down to the moving average. So really, the opportunity here is you can look for an opportunity to buy it off of the moving average or at the bottom of the channel. So that might even be good. You might want to take a look, pull up the Bitcoin 30-minute chart. That might be right for you. This is just a reiteration, smaller time frame, that this is holding. At least it's not dropping, but plan A is buy it here, plan B is buy it there. And yes, those down arrows don't mean sell. No, they do not. It's not a signal service. You don't know how to trade, it doesn't even matter. But if you know how to trade, you're like, yeah, obviously bullish. So this leg is down. I need to buy it at support. Yeah, obviously. Hourly confirms it. And uh-oh, what the heck is going on here? Well, if this fails, this 4-hour pattern fails, it could produce a straight up reversal. So these are all patterns forming. They haven't even formed yet. But if we fail on this pattern that we saw up here, if that one doesn't work, then what this is telling us is we're set up for a Gartley, and that should take us down, and that is a nasty graph. And we also see that vulnerability on this time frame. Even a higher high potentially can produce a lower low, because on a higher time frame, like a 240 or daily, like the one we see up here, if this comes up to this zone and then collapses, well, then this pattern is dead. Okay? And that sets up a straight up reversal. It'd be a big change, not a little change. And probably the reason for that is these Gartleys are just higher time frame analysis on shorter time frame periods. And that's a big fancy way of saying is, look, if you look at the Bitcoin on the daily chart, this has a lot of built-in bearishness. And we have to account for that vulnerability even on the shorter term. That is not bullish by any stretch of the imagination. Now, if you remember that first chart that looked something like this, I'm just going from memory, but I think it looked like this, right? For a 4-hour Bitcoin. So if that actually worked, you'd get this higher high, higher low. And guess what? Those two Gartleys fail. And now we're Oscar Mike here on the move. And the falling wedge, which is bearish, would have been breached. And now there's no bearish pattern on the daily, but now we'd have a new bullish one. And that's just the expansion of the bullish pattern that exists on the 4-hour. So therefore, Gartley is just showing you both time frames at once. Or you start memorizing some BS rules that some idiot guru made up 15 years ago, 30 years ago, 90 years ago. And then other gurus copy that nonsense, put it in a book, and now they're experts. Or you just know how to trade. Okay, that took a long time, but that was a lot of patterns. There's something going on. We're at a critical turning point with Bitcoin. It's either going to be way up or back down to 108. So we're either on our way to 130 or we're on our way back to 108 is what that suggests. Okay, what about the 10-year T-note? What's going on notes? Nothing. I looked at the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the hour, the 4-hour daily. I looked for uptrends, downtrends, sideways trends. Look for reversal patterns. Didn't see them. Let me just confirm. Yeah, there it is. Well, I want price to go up. I want yield to fall. It's been a really good trade for me recently. But if it ain't happening, don't force it. So right now it says, well, you can want all you want, but it doesn't change what is actually happening. Gold, you probably like gold, right? Yeah, let's take a look. Hourly chart, bullish with an opportunity. Fantastic. Pull up that hourly chart and get on with it. See how awesome this is? That was 5 time frames, and with 50 potential opportunities. There's one on one time. So if you're a bear, not now. If you're a bull, what are you waiting for? You were supposed to be trading gold 2 hours ago? For sure. If you're not trading gold 2 hours ago, you're not doing it right. And I can prove that to you. So let me finish this and then I'll prove that to you. All right, so let's go to the S&P 500. What do we see? Okay, hourly chart slightly bullish with a slight opportunity. 4 hour bullish, but under threat. The thing is, maybe this level holds. I don't know. But it's slightly bullish. Slightly bullish. It's slightly bullish. Okay? And so this down arrow says, well, 23 hours ago, so at the market open, there's a downward move expected, and it did because we were at the top here. So usually what you want to do is try to like catch it around that moving average or catch it down here. So one's at 64 and the other one's kind of where we are near the 65. It has to play out. But it's slightly bullish. You should know that. It's not bearish. There's nothing on here that says bearish. It's just slightly bullish. Looks like we're going to try to get to 65 and a half. But not necessarily now. But we'll see. Today's going to be a big day. All right, I said I was going to prove to you if you didn't trade gold a couple of hours ago, you may not be have enough data. So let me just show you the stuff you should know. There's silver, there's gold. Okay. On Mondays, okay, today's Monday, right? Yeah. On Mondays, so look at here, on Mondays, okay, 6 o'clock is when you should start trading gold. No later. And the peak of the day is only like 30 minutes after the stock market opened. And I've been teaching this for decades. That by 10 o'clock in the morning, you have 2/3 of the average daily range done. So between 6 and 10, and usually you're not in until closer to 7, depending on the day. But in this period here, it's a guess. I can't prove it. But in my experience, in my humble opinion, in that little window, you will get 66% of all the profits of what the entire day offers. So why don't you just do that? I need it all. Well, then just at the end of the day, jam your stop at break even. And then the next day, try again. Right? So anyways, cool. I just want to note that this is now plausibly a support level, and this low may plausibly be a support level. But anyways, you got to have the data. You just have to have the data. Every day is slightly different. So this shape up here, hour of day, changes. Yeah. Cool, right? Maybe you want to see what goes on here. I think we call it rollover. But anywho, for those in my Council of Investment Advisors, investmentbootcamp.com/CIA. Okay, we have a meeting today. And I think we have $3,500 in cash that we need to allocate. based on our seasonal analysis of when to rotate, rebalance, and allocate. So we're in allocation mode. So today at noon, we're going to review the portfolio's performance. You see this? This is actual screenshot. It's now over 101,000. Yeah, our internal rate of return is improved. Our total profits improved. The income is improved. So we've done pretty good, but we'll go through it investment by investment by investment. And then we need to allocate that cash. Okay. Yeah, we own some Russell now. Cool. So anyways, this is a very, very special group. You can join once. I don't know if this works. No, I don't even accept applications. But you can email me, wayne@tradars.com. But anyway, so we'll meet today and do our portfolio review, and we'll do our discussions on potential investment opportunities, where we should stuff that cash, because the cash is trash. We need to turn that into an asset. So for those that want to join, let me know. And yes, that's real money. Yeah. If you want to join the team, you can. There's a couple of rules that we have going right now. One, there can't be more than 25 people ever. And two, if you quit, you can't come back. So if you join and they're like, and then quit, that's it. You're gone. Never come back. And I can tell you, we have crazy intelligent conversations. And everybody started at zero. And now we discuss very complicated portfolio construction and management techniques and issues, and make very profound, deep, well thought out decisions. I'm telling you, it's crazy good. Yeah. So the idea is you're not expected to know how to do any of this. So when you join, there's a 16-hour training course. And then we've recorded all our meetings, which you don't have to watch all of them. But the first one is important because I build with you the base starting portfolio, and we go through every prospectus. It took us like 8 hours. So really what you do is you got to watch 16 hours of videos. Then you got to watch another 8 hours of our first meeting when we actually construct the portfolio. And then you probably should watch the last meeting to get caught up, and then you should attend our monthly meetings. It's legit, I'm telling you. So if you want to be a wealth manager, a money manager, a portfolio manager, this is what this is. With my money in my pension fund. So now you're going to become a pension fund manager. Now the interesting thing on top of this is that since we're doing this together, and I let you make decisions. This isn't you watching me trade. We vote. That's why it's a council. So the CIA track record, real money in a real Wall Street firm, becomes your track record because you're actually helping manage the money. So you actually learn, do, and check it out. Our success is your success. It's cool, right? So anyways, we have room for a couple more people to join. I guess I should probably make the button work. You'll have to email me, but Where's my chat? You'll probably have to email me here. But anyways, if you want to check it out and put it on the to-do list. But this is the best time of year. This is the best month of the year. Right? Hey, Sidley Sal. So anyways, I got to go. That was real. Lots to do today. That's at noon. And then we're going to do our 4 o'clock meeting for day trading. Oh my gosh. Tomorrow we're doing our watch party. The dates probably don't add up, but because I think it's Wednesdays. We voted to change this. It's now Tuesdays, Thursdays. So this is going on tomorrow. Yeah, so I have to update this website. Who has time to update? Okay, we got some pretty butt-kicking stuff going on. So if you're the same trader as you were 6 weeks ago or 6 months ago, you're wasting your time. You need to radically change everything, or you're falling behind. So how competitive do you want to be? Okay. I know you probably don't have all the money in the world, but you know what? You definitely don't have all the time in the world. One of them you can make more of. You can make more money, but you can't make more time. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And wait until you see TRADARS 2.0. The beta I have is extraordinary. Leaps and bounds above what you see here, and this is crazy as is. Because it does more and better and easier and cleaner and customizabler and dude, that's why. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And also, Sal, just one of the frustrations I have with what we've built over the years is the limitation of the technology. Okay? So like this page. I love this page. But if I want to update this page and do something more dramatic or to make it look different or better or cleaner, it sucks. Hate this page. Because even like to get this lined up perfectly, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes I'm a stickler where this, look, you see market change, nowhere near the edge, and then this market change is on the edge, and this market change doesn't line with market, just like little crap like this takes so much effort and So there's flaws in the technology. Now, behind this, there's just millions of tables of data, whatever. So this in of itself is a limitation. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're like, well, I don't like limitations. I like unlimited opportunity. The core is the same? No. The other thing I'll tell you is this: most of what I've built is actually algorithm and not artificial intelligence. There's some AI, but it's mostly algo. Okay? Create a score for Australia based on a formula. Create a score for Canada based on the same formula. Compare the two formulas and give a new score. That's not AI. Now, what if instead of this being 90% algorithm and 10% AI, what if it was 90% AI and 10% algorithm? No, Wayne, you can't do that. Shut the back door, I can't. Dude, you should see it. Oh, it's insane. So anyways, that's why. Okay, Silly Sal? Good question, Silly Sal. That's why. Oh, I'm not going to tell you. But I can tell you that I've been working myself to death. Getting, working on this, because the more I'm doing it myself, the less I need to rely on other people, and I can just dream something. And I'm a dreamer. I'm an entrepreneur. I dream all the time. So I'm like, I could wake up and I'm like, you know what we need? And I can just build it. And then I'm like, this is okay, but I want to try something different. And I'll build that. And I'm like, oh, that is far superior. You know, like now suddenly you have my entrepreneurial spirit, but my trading experience and my economics background. And when you add those three together, if I can also now just build whatever I can dream, you have unlimited upside, because I have unlimited upside. You see? It's like I'm building something that every trader and investor doesn't even know they should be dreaming about. And when you see it, you'll know. You'll just know. You're like, oh my God. You'll just, oh my God. Yeah. Cool, right? Yeah. But the thing is, once that's built, I can keep building and 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 building. And what I build for me, I build for you. And if I love it, you love it. Yeah. Telling you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, with that, the definitive, the definition, sorry, the definition of that has changed. Am I doing the programming myself? I am the architect. So go ahead and watch Matrix 3. We live in a world now, and I have friends that are programmers. I have friends that work in the AI development business, and they don't actually type code anymore, even though they know how to do it. That's not how it works anymore. So am I typing bracket, symbol, post, equals, bracket? No, no, no. JSON versus post versus get. You're like, I'm using the wrong get syntax. No. But am I finding the right IDs at the at the Fed, or at Stats Canada, or at the Bank of Canada? Today I'll probably spend a lot of time at the ONS, which is the statistical organization for the UK. And so do I have to sift through billions of tables looking for the right table to give me the right data to add it to another table with another ID, and then know how to do the math to combine the two to get me a result? Am I finding the exact IDs? And then when when I produce an output, know that it's right or wrong, and 99% of the time it's wrong. So you have to just keep at it until you find all the right IDs and data sets. And the internet sucks, and AI sucks for all of this because everything is old and obsolete and has changed. So, you can ask Grok, get me the ID for this. And it's like, oh, definitely, here's the ID. Problem solved, right? No. Problem is that was obsolete 2 years ago. So you have to get dirty. Okay? Isn't that cool? So I'm doing the dirty work. Yeah. That's wild, isn't it? Yeah. So the idea is if I can build a foundational system, like a foundation, strong enough to support a nuclear power plant or a nuclear missile being fired off, an ICBM fired off. If I build a strong foundation like that, all the other stuff, the fun stuff, the stuff you actually look at, oh, dude, that's easy. Yeah, that part's easy. I can knock that stuff out all day long. That's so easy. That's fun and easy. But I think I'm about 200 hours into developing just the foundation. I'm not worried about the windows and the roof. I'm not worried about, what color the walls are going to be. I'm building the foundation, and it's hardcore. And then from that, whatever you can dream of, you can share with me. Maybe I can build that for us. Because TRADARS is a community and an analytical platform. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. Thank you for your time and attention. I will see you soon. Remember, CIA, if you're going to join, okay, you're signing up for life, but check it out. Email me if you want in, wayne@tradars.com. And CIA, I will see you later.